Hey everybody, Ian at TMB Trail Guide here, and in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I would start creating my Tour du Mont Blanc itinerary. So on the screen here, I am using our TMB Trek Planner, which we, of course, think is the best way to sort of create and refine your itinerary. So what we've got here, you can see, is a map of the Tour du Mont Blanc with all sorts of waypoints on it for different accommodation. We've got public transit, so we've got buses, trains, cable cars, all that sort of stuff. And then we also have alternate routes. So those are shown in red here. And what I've done is just set this up to say I'm creating a 10-day itinerary, and I kind of want to just look at some different options and see what my distances might be. So right away, I'm just going to be prompted to go ahead and select my start point. For this, I'm just going to say we're starting in Les Houches at the main trailhead. Once I've selected that, I might want to sort of compare some possible route options. So the traditional first day goes to Les Contamines, which you can see sort of centered here on the map. And in the Trek Planner, you'll see a bunch of accommodation. And then we also just have this Les Contamines Town Center, which is sort of like a main point that you can use to create an itinerary before you have specific accommodation, just to get a general sense of like distance and elevation gain and sort of compare your options. So for this first day, I'm just going to go ahead and select the Les Contamines Town Center as my ending point. And then if I like my day, eventually as I refine it, I'll select a specific accommodation. But you can see after I've selected that, the Trek Planner is going to go ahead and create my day one route shown here. And then on the sidebar, I can go ahead and scroll over and see sort of the distance and elevation gain for that specific day. I can also put that in kilometers if I want. I'm here in the US, so I'm going to stick with miles and feet, but know that it's super easy to switch. So right off the bat, I can see it's about 10 and a half miles from start to end, and I can think about if that day makes sense for me. Now, the other thing I might do on this day is say, looking at the map, I know there is this alternate route. This is called the Col des Tricots. If I click on that, I'll go ahead and get some just basic information about this alternate or variant route. Now, personally, I've hiked the Col des Tricots many times before. It's a spectacular option, so I would highly recommend it on your first day if you're up for it. And if I wanted to sort of take a look at what my first day would be like if I took the Col des Tricots, what I would just do in the Trek Planner is come up here where it says customize your route, and I'm just going to go ahead and say customize your route. Now that opens up our custom route builder, and basically what this does is just let you click along the map, select which trail segment you want to hike on, and then it'll just build the route for you. So if I wanted to take the Col des Tricots on this stage, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the Col des Tricots, and you'll see a little preview of your route shown in purple. I'll just go ahead and click that. It's going to start creating my route. Keep clicking along the Col des Tricots. And then as I get a little closer to the end, if I zoom in here, you can see there's my end at the Les Contamines Town Center. I'm just going to click this autocomplete to destination button, which will finish the route. All right, so let's go ahead and save that custom route. And now when I zoom out on the map, I can see my day one is shown here, but it's taking the Col des Tricots variant. Now, when I come down on the sidebar again, you'll see those hiking statistics have been updated to reflect that. So I can see, now I'm at almost 12 miles, 5,300 feet of elevation gain. I can open an elevation profile, which will give me a sense of what that day looks like from the elevation profile standpoint. And let's say I like the idea of taking the Col des Tricots, but maybe this is a little too much distance and a little too much elevation gain for me. The next thing I might do is see, well, what transit could I take to maybe make this day more manageable? So right off the bat, one of the main public transit or shortcuts that people take, especially on the first day, is the Bellevue cable car. So go ahead and click on that, see just some information on the Bellevue cable car, which is a way to sort of shorten this first day. And let's say now I want to go ahead and build in taking that cable car to maybe shorten that day a little. All I'm going to do is just come back here, say customize your route. It'll just reopen that custom route builder. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to select the trail segment I want to take, which in this case is the cable car. So I'll just click to add that to my route. You'll see the route builder does its thing. It's always going to show public transit in light blue. And then I'll just keep clicking on the Col des Tricots here, thinking that if I take the cable car, and hike the Col de Tricot. That'll be a more manageable first day. So once I get a little closer, I'll just go ahead and use this autocomplete. I'm going to go ahead and save my route. And now what you'll see on the map is it is showing the route via the Col de Tricot, but taking the Bellevue cable car. And so if I come down here on the sidebar, you'll see the distance is updated. All the hiking stats are updated to now reflect that I'm taking that cable car. You'll see this little badge saying that this stage includes transit. If I open the elevation profile, you'll see it looks pretty similar to what it did before, but now I've got this section here that's going to show where I'm taking the cable car, which I'm obviously not hiking on. So it's sort of, whisking me up to a higher point on the trail to make that day a little more manageable. So once I'm happy with that, let's say this looks good and this is the route I want to take, I would just go ahead and select this continue to next day button. And the Trek Planner is just going to move on to day 2 of my itinerary. So you'll see it's a really nice way to compare all the different possibilities for a given stage. So we looked at first just the main route. Then we looked at, well, what if I take this variant route? Then we looked at, well, what if I take the variant route, but I incorporate a cable car to help make that variant route a little bit more manageable. So that's really the power of the Trek Planner for creating your itinerary, is the ability to sort of compare all these options, decide what's going to work for you, and then keep building your itinerary from there. So from Lake Contamine, let's say I was just going to go to Les Chapieux, which is the sort of traditional second night on the TMB. I'm just going to zoom in here to Les Chapieux, and you'll see same thing. We've just got a little Les Chapieux trailhead. I'll go ahead and select that as my endpoint. Of course, there's also the accommodation options here, but as I'm initially planning an itinerary, I'm not going to think as much about accommodation and more just generally what do I want my days to look like. So if I zoom back out here on the map, you'll see I now have my day 2 of hiking from Lake Contamine to Les Chapieux. It's shown in green. And if I come down here on the sidebar, same thing. I'll see my start and end location along with my daily hiking stats. Now, once again, let's say I wanted to take a variant on this stage. The variant on the second stage is called the Col de Faux. Looks like Col de Fours. Again, you can click on it to get some info. And then if I wanted to take that, I would just select customize my route. Once again, the custom route builder will pop up, and I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the Col de Faux variant, and let me make this so you can see a little better. Once again, the route is going to preview in purple. I'll go ahead and click that, and then let's say I was going to sort of double back a little bit, so I'm going to go over the Col de Faux because I really want to take that, but I'm still going to end in Les Chapieux. Just select the main trail that brings me there, hit that autocomplete button, and then save that custom route. And now I've got my day 2 route still shown in green, but now it's taking that Col de Faux variant. So same thing, I can come down here, I can see the distance and elevation gain. I can decide if that day is a little much for me or if that looks great. If it looks good, I'll just go ahead and continue to the next day. And we'll just keep going through that process, selecting waypoints as you go and customizing each day to really get a sense of what's going to work for you personally on your itinerary. So hopefully you found this helpful. This is part of the reason we built the TMB Trek Planner, is to make it really easy to compare all your options and really build a fully customized itinerary, because a lot of what you'll find online is sort of generic itineraries that don't and really can't account for all the different possibilities, of which there are a ton on the TMB. So in the TMB Trek Planner, you can kind of see everything, experiment, save. You can create as many itineraries as you want to compare. And we just think it's a really cool tool for planning a trip. So hopefully that helps, and don't hesitate to shoot us an email if you have any questions.